Chapter 740. Yumi and Wilbur were sitting on the living room floor in the morning. The leader of the assassins, Miss Gardner, the leader of the ninjas, Fern Gardner, and Yumi's general Sid Gardner, knelt before them. Sid said, "The Winchesters, the Zions, the Snyders, and the Hexens waged a battle at us at the same time. The battle is in 3 days, at the top of Fuji Mountain." "What is the reason?" asked Yumi in a low voice. Sid replied, "The reason is that the prestigious blood of Karatopia should not be tainted." Then, Sid snuck a glance at Wilbur. Wilbur observed everything with a nonchalant expression. Yumi frowned and said slowly, "How shameless. Madam Yumi, I think we can't agree to the battle. We lost half our numbers, and we can never win against the four families, even if we still have our fighters," said Mist with a lowered gaze. "If we reject, I'm afraid we won't avoid an incoming war. A lot of cultivators in Karatopia are discussing us," said Fern in a low voice. Fern was being vague, but everyone knew what the Karatopia cultivators were discussing. Yumi looked at Wilbur. The Gardners could not defeat any of the families at the moment, let alone when the four families were working together. When they wanted to wage a battle in the name of blood purity, it sparked the passion of cultivators in Karatopia. They would want to participate in the battle and eradicate the Gardners, so they could improve their standing. They were going to destroy the Gardners for good. Wilbur was their only hope. However, no one could be sure that Wilbur would win against 4 shadow-level experts at the same time. If he could not win the battle and shock everyone, the Gardners would be doomed. By the way, thank you everyone for your continued support through your likes and comments. If you have not subscribed yet, please do, so you will not miss any chapter, and it will also encourage me to upload more for you guys. Let's continue. Wilbur slowly opened his eyes when everyone was looking at him and said, "Spread the word. The Gardners agree to the battle. In 3 days, we will have a battle to the death at the top of Fuji Mountain." "Sir? Are you sure?" asked Yumi. It was a life and death matter for her family. After all, she was under enormous pressure. Wilbur replied nonchalantly, "Aside from that, inform the 4 major families in the name of Trevor Penn. Their deaths are upon them in 3 days. Tell them to prepare their coffins." What? His words shocked Yumi and the others. They could not believe he wanted to threaten the 4 major families. They could not imagine it because the 4 shadow-level experts were the most powerful people in Karatopia. Not even the Karatopia government dared to mess with them. It was not only because the 5 major families were great in manpower, but also because they had 4 shadow-level experts as leaders. The fortune of the 5 major families also affected every aspect of Karatopia. Even the president had to stay respectful. However, Wilbur did not respect them at all. He wanted to face 4 shadow-level experts alone. No one in Karatopia would even think of doing so. Yumi took a deep breath and said slowly, "Let's do as he says. We'll reply to the 4 major families and attend the battle." Yumi knew that nothing would change if they did not agree to the battle. The battle was bound to happen. Agreeing to the battle would make the Gardners look dignified. She could not promise that they would win, but she had no other choice. In the early 3 days later,